Rebecca Ferguson revisits Silo and the talks tricky conversation for Dune Messiah. Rebecca Ferguson is becoming close to a household name. Okay, maybe close is a slight exaggeration, but her profile is bigger than her social media presence, and that's primarily because her resume over the past decade is filled with one banger after another. The Greatest Showman, 3 acclaimed Mission Impossible flicks, a Best Picture nominee in Dune, and, likely, a second Oscar nominee in her latest blockbuster, Dune, Part 2. And now, she's up for a potential Emmy nomination as Juliet, a sheriff in a post-apocalyptic civilization trying to discover the truth behind the gigantic, multi-level silo humanity is confined to. And while fans of the Apple TV Plus series are no doubt clamoring to discover what happened to their heroine following a Season 1 cliffhanger, Ferguson is also considering her future as the Reverend Mother in Denis Villeneuve's ongoing space opera. Likely an adaptation of the third chapter of Frank Herbert's landmark sci-fi literary series, moviegoers will be happy to discover Dune Messiah is officially on Legendary Pictures and Warner Bros. Development slate for a series featuring gigantic sandworms and wars over a spice used to power interstellar travel. The Messiah novel is arguably even more out there. And as quickly as Ferguson would love to reunite with her Dune castmates, she knows Villeneuve has a tough job ahead of him grounding whatever Messiah turns out to be. The new movie is banking and people are loving it, and it has the most phenomenal cast in it. Of course, there would be a third one, but it's a lot of pressure on Denis. It's a lot of pressure to continue, Ferguson says. And when do you make the creative decision? Do you go when it is at the best, or do you make one that could fail and not be as good? It's a really tricky conversation. It depends on the script, it depends on the money. It depends on all of the actors that have not got a deal for the third film. That's a lot going on there. So there's a lot to take into consideration before just writing a third script, you know. And, frankly, perhaps the fact that some of the actors don't have a deal for a third movie is the biggest revelation from our conversation with the Swedish native. But, thankfully, she had a lot more to say. During our chat last week, Ferguson goes in depth into why she finally said yes to Silo, why Juliet reacted the way she did at the end of Season 1, the challenge of shooting a strike-affected Season 2, how she wouldn't mind her Dune co-star turning into a worm in Messiah, and much, much more. Enjoying the content? Subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment to be a part of our amazing community. Your support means the world.